1991, Becoming God. Tennessee, Memphis, August 1st.
Why are you sitting over there? Come and talk to me.
What's up with you? You can't hold off till later?
No, I can't, so hurry, because I'm still waiting.
What's the rush? You and I will never grow apart.
I know, but I want to treat you to something right now. I've got a Love Jones baby.
Oh, I see. You want me to be your little plaything, huh? It's aight. I can do that. 'Cause I love the times we share. Elena Miles played on the sound system as the couple sat in a booth of Elvis Presley's Memphis, drinking and playing mind games. The clock in the corner read 12 p.m. when the Motorola brick phone rang as he closed in for a kiss.
Slow up, babe. My phone.
Go. The caller's voice was quick and raspy. Yo, son, the situation out here just got real, son.
Nothing you can't handle, recite.
Son, ain't shit been built that I can't handle. But you gonna wanna hear this.
Is that right? Go ahead.
Them strays from that other side of that town just came through, trying to fuck with the big dog's bowl, son. So I asked him, you gonna bark all day, bitch, or you gonna bite? We got to spitting, the whole 9 yards. Rock caught a hot one. He'll be alright, though. Memphis Memorial? Nah, we called up your man, the doctor from Germantown. So far, so good. Anyway, I sicked the dog catchers on them strays, right? They brought something back for the pack. You need to hurry. You need a vet bad.
Son, you're a genius,
said AD with a grin.
I'ma get like Mr. Blonde with him, with a party at.
We with these smokers on Crump Street. Oh yeah? The grin dissipated and he paused.
Get that catcher to blow them kindlers out before I skate through there.
AD hung up the phone laughing, but the conversation had left Jessica disturbed. Her life was on track. Her GPA was high, and her credit score was better. She drove a new Honda Civic and rented a nice apartment in Nashville. As summer vacation came to an end, she and AD had flown out here from Jersey, hoping to spend a few days of quiet time together before she embarked on her senior year. They'd been lounging on Bell Street while staying downtown at the Peabody, and as usual, AD had been multitasking. From his very first visit to Tennessee in '88, he'd made plans to expand there. The money he could make supplying Jessica's campus with herb was crazy, not to mention supplying other parts of the state with spices. But hustling with New Jacks from the South could be dangerous. They had a different flow. AD didn't sweat it though. He knew that money was a dialectician and would take care of most problems from the get-go. By late '89, with Jess's help, he'd moved into a condo and traded up from a 325 to an 850i. Since '85, he'd moved from an eighth of a key to handling 5, sometimes 6 at a time. The commission had 5 members in its inner circle and close to 20 employees who cared for the rest. Yep, things had changed for the better. Both their lives were on the fast track. But 9 times out of 10, how a relationship starts out is how it will end. Jess, I'm gonna have to leave a little early today. You could drop me in the Fowler Homes. I'll get a ride to the airport from there. Refined by college, Jessica held in her anger, sighed, and looked away. I thought this was our time, Seth. What if I had something planned for us? Did you? That's not the point, and you know it. Don't start, Jess. What's the big deal? I was leaving later anyway. Tonight, not now. Something came up. I gotta handle it. What's so important? Why can't Pat take care of it? Jessica didn't really expect an answer. She knew he'd always plead the fifth when it came to the fam. Jess, how many times I gotta tell you? She finished his sentence. There's a few things about my life that I can't explain. AD used it whenever he wanted to get out of something or end a conversation. After 6 years, the line had worn thin. What does that even mean? Jessica had taken her own bite from the tree, and now she understood. AD had been sinning a long time, and it was too late to change his game in the 9th inning. For 6 years, she'd been faithful, all too aware of the sex and the cheating, and still, she'd promised she'd never leave him. No longer the love-struck and blind, a new life was calling Jessica, but she'd need confidence to leave her old one behind. "What time are you leaving?" she asked. 20 minutes later, at the hotel, they packed quickly and did what they did best. Jessica let her feeling go. If this was it, she wanted to give him something to remember. She felt he deserved that. All the while, she managed to stay smoother than black velvet as she executed her plan. In the car, she took a page directly from his book by playing the tape. Excerpt 41.
Don't talk, just listen. First of all, baby, I gotta be honest with you. I lied when I told you I never wanted to see you again. Could you please stay?
AD had no idea he was losing control. For a fraction of a second, the thought crossed his. Is she trying to? Nah, not Jess. Pull over right here, he said. He checked out the block before he kissed her. See, bae, everything went smooth. I hate to leave, but I gotta handle this. I understand, Jessica said forgivingly. They kissed again. At that moment, her feelings for him were both sad and tender. You forever, my lady, he said. I'll give you a call when I touch down. Jessica let go of his hand. He shut the door, and she watched her prince walk away. AD glanced at the car as it disappeared down the street, unaware that a good girl was gone forever. Excerpt 42.
Babe, come to me like you never had. You never. It's going nice. For a little while. What you say, Ronnie? Baby, won't you just stay? Yeah.
The Hamptons. 22 hours later. Hit it. Don't babysit it. Excerpt 43. Bitch better have my money. The smoke from the Dutchie choked the girl just a wee bit. She closed her eyes and lay back, relaxing and giggling. That a girl. Now pass it on the left-hand side, instructed AD. And do not fuck up the rotation. Christie Whitney relaxed on the distressed and sturdy oak of the Ethan Allen beach furniture, enjoying the feel of this early afternoon in August, but anxious for her trip to begin. She hoped it would prove just as intense, vivid, and colorful as any ergot. And who better to usher her through the gutters than New York's self-proclaimed #1 hustler? So, what's it like where you're from? She asked. Her curious eyes were fixed on the full lips of her guest. Her brain was waiting for the signal to put a frame around the masterpiece he was sure to paint. Indigo blue waves merged with the bleached white sand at the shore of the beach. The intensity and frequency of those colors is what caught his eye. It was everywhere. The water and the sand, the houses and their trim, the blood and skin of the residents of this gated community. Ergo, for generations, they'd remained this way, unspoiled, golden and untarnished. He took it all in while sipping a rum punch and preparing his response to a question he'd soon be answering all over the States. Let's just say it ain't nothing nice. Christie couldn't accept that. That I already know. Why do you think I'm asking? All we ever see is what's on the news, and that's filtered. I want it raw and uncut, she said, sitting up excitedly. I can't help you in either of those categories. I'm serious, she whined. I've invited you out to my summer house, introduced you to my friends, and told you secrets. I've been totally open and honest. You know all about me. What do I really know about you? You two play fair. Christie's upset. I think she's going to cry, said the blonde, exiting the kitchen. The contents of her Abercrombie bikini top hard like diamonds and the bottom smooth like pearls. Put the chili peppers on, she said, flipping through her Rob report and sipping Cristal from Williams and Sonoma Crystal. And try not to upset her too much before the llama's celebration tonight. Besides, she's got a point, AD. I want to hear about it too. Tell us, they shouted, elbowing his arms. We want the dirt. AD figured he owed him that. He'd only known Christie for a season, yet already they'd squeezed in years' worth of experiences. Same city, different world. From art exhibits in Soho to clubbing at El Morocco, with Christie as the key maker, doors opened that he never knew existed. They'd met at a showing of Julie Dash's film Daughters of the Dust, both questioning why the other was there, both learning through long conversations not to judge the soul by the skin it's in. He'd toned down the jewelry since '88, lost the gold tooth, and gained a few diamonds. Christie watched him in his stiff leather and denim exhaust outfit as they waited in the concession line. Jungle fever or desert storm, whatever the weather, you could count on him for a witty response. Manhattan, the Village, early '91. So, what did you think of the film? He stared at her for a moment, wondering what she wanted with him. I think the woman wanted to run things, and when they got to, they argued amongst themselves a lot like men do. Interesting. What about the way she brought the timelines together? Okay, why are you asking? Well, I could be wrong, but I don't see your date, and you don't look like a feminist. See there? I'm all for women's rights. What kind of a feminist are you? Melissa Etheridge or Sinead O'Connor? From where I'm standing, she said, smiling, nothing compares to you. AD chuckled. He liked her style. Is that right? So look, before I jump out the window, what's your name? She held out her hand. Christie. What's yours? Oh, did I forget to I'm AD, he said, shaking her hand. You know, Christie, you don't look Gula. Christie shook her head. I'm not. I'm a dame of Malta and a daughter of Isabella, but not one of the dust. I think all of us daughters have to stick together, though. It's good to share in each other's secrets. AD stepped closer, looked her in the eye, and asked seductively, Secrets? What secrets you got? Christie returned his gesture. Taken from me. We all have secrets. Christie's family could trace their secrets back to Britain. Her great-grandfather, 4 times removed, had been one of the Puritan separatists, later known as Protestants, who'd left England for America, and no matter how chaste and reformed they claimed to be, many of them brought to the New World their old world ways. Aostre, a child to magic is born. Rhiannon played as they arrived in Sagaponack. AD appraised the multi-million-dollar home as the alpine white Shelby Mustang kicked up gravel in the driveway. And this is where you summer? Christie hung up her cellular phone. Yeah, the main estate is in New Haven. Throughout the home, he witnessed Brazilian wood floors, French Gaul picture frames, and Javier Marin sculptures reminiscent of the temple ruins at Cormy. Must be nice, he said. The tour ended in her bedroom with him sipping from his 3rd Guinness. Contrary to the rest of the house, her room was a mess. What happened here? Asked AD. I haven't had time to unpack. I told you. Seattle? Nirvana? He hunched his shoulders. Never mind, she said, throwing her bags in the closet. Here, we took some awesome pictures of the band. AD sifted through the stack. Whoa, what's her story? He held up a picture of the Black Widow in desperate need of sun and a bra. Christie laughed. That's one of their wives. She gets so wasted you would not believe. He placed the pictures back in the duffel. And what's this? He asked, holding up a large black leather-bound book. Christie's face turned white. You really shouldn't have that, she said, upset by her carelessness.
AD flipped it over and saw the symbol. Still keeping secrets, huh? He teased her with a knowing smile.
What do you think you know?
She asked. AD chuckled and tapped the book. Where I'm from, the points on this star stand for love, peace, truth, freedom, and justice, but around here they probably stand for earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, and it's called a pentagram, not a star. So that would mean I'm holding your...
Book of Shadows.
said Christie, reaching for it.
I'm impressed.
I'm tripping.
Why?
A.D. shook his head. Nobody believes in that stuff, man. Christie touched his cheek.
Poor child, open your eyes. The craft flourishes to this day. She took his hand. Follow me. I want to show you something.
In her parents' room, they entered a spacious walk-in closet where Christie opened a hidden door with a skeleton key. A.D. bent down and followed her up the stairs to the attic. Shelves holding several chalices, jars of incense, and fresh herbs lined the walls. On the floor was a large red pentagram. In the center, a sword hung from a podium where she placed the book and asked,
What religion are you?
Nobody believes in that stuff, man. Christie smiled and continued.
Well, if anyone asks, I'm a God-fearing Episcopalian. But actually, like most of my friends and neighbors, I'm Wiccan.
You mean to tell me I can find witches in the mansions next door and across the street? Christie corrected him.
Wiccans! We don't like to be called witches. It's like you explained to me about niggers and niggas.
He let that slide.
Open your eyes. We're on your block too, on TV, advertising in books and magazines. We just keep it low-key. Do you know the trials we've gone through to be here?
What? Asked A.D. You mean the Crucible and all that Salem's Lot stuff?
Exactly, we call it. The burning times. We were tortured and murdered by the thousands, the result of the ignorance and cowardice of a few cunning folk, that idiot King James, some Hebrews, and the Roman Catholics.
A.D. had never seen Christie so passionate or upset. What do they have to do with any of that?
Everything. That's the reason I asked you about your religion. I'm not against any of them. Wiccans are pure and peaceful. We worship Selene, the waxing side of the mother goddess, and we live by the rule of 3. The Wiccan reed is, do what thou wilt, as it harms none. But it's them who do harm to us, claiming we worship a devil that didn't even exist before the Levites wrote him into existence. They propagated this crazy notion that magic and those who partook in it were evil, when there's evidence of an esoteric stream running through all religions that deals with magic and divine contact. Even so, it was our followers who were used as scapegoats for everything from bad health to bad crops. Exodus 22:18 screwed us. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. That, plus King James's hatred of women and paranoia of the devil, is what got us kicked out of England. James, Pope Innocent, and all his little choir boys were in bed with one another. They wanted women, Lutherans and Protestants, and anyone who was wise to the truth gone. When things got bad in America, some of us started to fall for their lies. Then history just repeated itself like it always does.
A.D. snapped his fingers and joked. They got a name for people like you, heretics. I'm gonna stand over here because I don't want to be close when the lightning strikes.
Please, you're one too. So are Jews, Christians and Muslims, Buddhists and Hindus too. All of you believing stories of mythic figures like Krishna, Buddha, Bedru, Osiris, Zoroaster, Muhammad, Tammuz, Odin, Quetzalcoatl, Prometheus, Jesus. I could go on and on, all of them the sons of God, all born on December 25th.
There was a short silence. Christie had broken through.
You want to know what December 25th really represents? What? The winter solstice, the longest night of the year. From that point, the sun begins its ascent to its zenith. Symbolically, it's the night when the waning side of the mother goddess Persephone awakens to find she is with child. From there, he waits for the birth of the Son of God, they said together. December 25th is the birthday of Sol Invictus, the unconquerable sun and the light of the world. He's the god of the ancient Sumerians and their Romans descendants. All Emperor Constantine did when he converted Rome to Christianity was fuse the three together. Christianity is grounded in paganism with bits of Judaism and the story of Christ thrown in to rally the troops. A.D. asked the obvious question. Why? Control, answered Christie. The Roman Empire dominated over a quarter of the world's population. Constantine managed to subjugate all the province's religious and political sects with a repackaged tool. A.D. didn't seem moved. It's still in use today. If you don't believe me, just look on the inside of the Capitol building. On the dome is a fresco entitled The Apotheosis of Washington. Simply put, what all the symbolism in it means is that every president of the United States is in the line of Julius, and as the Caesars did before him shall rule over the heathen deities in far territories, north and south of the zodiacal stars. I don't know about you, but that sounds a lot like God to me. But what does any of this have to do with magic and witches and all that? Asked AD, still unable to see the connection. Wicca and many of the other pagan religions deal with the forces of nature and the cosmos. The Wiccan knowing and willingly harnesses and influence those forces. That's magic. I'm not buying it. I'll prove it to you.
Christie opened a trunk and produced a small wooden box. She took from it a black silk scarf wrapped around a deck of cards. The couple took a seat inside the circle, and Christie began speaking.
Have you ever heard the saying, "It's in the cards"?
AD nodded.
Centuries ago, cartomancy was used by nobles for divination. Even the deck you know as playing cards was based on the cosmological arts. Over time, the tarot deck has become the preferred method of oracles. This one was designed by Alpheus Levi.
Christie removed the Emperor card and placed it on the floor.
I want you to clear your mind. Be serious for a moment and think of something you always wanted to know as you shuffle these cards.
Believe in it or not, AD wasn't about to let an opportunity slip by.
Now cut the deck 3 times,
said Christie. After he did that, she took the cards and laid them out in the Celtic cross spread. Then she placed the first card, the World, over the Emperor card and said,
"This is what covers you."
The second card, the Queen of Cups, she lay horizontally across that and said,
"This is what crosses you."
The third, the 8 of Pentacles, she placed above those and said,
"This is what crowns you."
The next one, the 10 of Cups, was upside down. Christie placed it under the others and said,
"This is beneath you."
The fifth card, the Lovers, went on the left side.
"This is what's behind you,"
she said. On the right side went the Magician.
"This is what's before you."
She stacked the next 4 cards one atop the other on the right-hand side. The 2 of Wands was upside down. Above it lay the Knight of Swords. Next lay the 2 of Swords. And finally, the Devil. AD looked to see Christie's expression. It hadn't changed. She took a deep breath and went to work on his reading.
Your question was simple. Everyone wants to know what the future has in store for them. Here's your next 5 years. I chose the Emperor for you. It best suits your character. His strengths are energy and will, but his weaknesses are pride and stubbornness. The World is a good card. It indicates the atmosphere in which the other cards will work. It can symbolize change, maybe satisfaction or praise for all your past efforts, or a new phase in your life that involves travel to places you never even dreamed of. The Queen of Cups represents the Earth Mother. At her best when at home, surrounded by family and friends, she's loving, affectionate, and known for her otherworldly aspects.
Christie smiled at him.
Not a bad person to have us around. The next card is great for you. It represents the best that can come from your circumstances. It means that with much work you can take advantage of your God-given talents as an artist and turn them into a career and money. The next card represents your foundation, the influences that made you what you are today. It's a good card when right side up, but as you can see, yours is reversed. I see lots of violence, loss, and many arguments in your past, much of it caused by unwanted births.
AD managed a smile. Keep flowing.
This card, said Christie, has 2 meanings. First one represents a strong influence that will soon pass, most likely a lover.
That's got to be Jess, he thought.
You want to talk about her?
Asked Christie. He answered with his expression.
Just asking. Well, chances are there will be reconciliation, but there'll also be an important decision, one that means sacrifice.
For the first time, Christie seemed apprehensive as she touched the Magician card.
This card shows an important influence that will operate in the near future. Do you have any idea who it could be?
No. Should I be worried?
Not necessarily, but the Magician is a powerful figure.
She pointed to the infinity symbol on the card.
It said that he holds the key to eternity. He's usually young, a risk-taker, and a master of skill and oratory. He's perceptive and intuitive, and has the ability to bring about the best or the worst in others. This is an extremely good card when it comes to business ventures, because he will do whatever it takes to succeed. Magicians are the planners of life, and they are well aware of the power they wield.
I wouldn't mind meeting one, said AD, confirming Christie's fears about the next card, the 2 of Wands, reversed.
This card shows your feelings toward the situation, pride, ambition, and the will to gain wealth and power by any means.
Christie hurried on.
The next card affects the matter at hand, for good or ill. He is the Lord of the Winds and King of the Spirits of the Air. He's volatile and sometimes viewed as troublesome because he often rushes in where angels fear to tread. He is the Knight of Swords.
AD seemed concerned, but Christie didn't notice. She studied the next card.
The Two of Swords, she said. If a situation arises, this card signals a stalemate. There will be no way around it and no escaping it. You must confront it. It will frighten you because it stands in the way of everything you've worked for.
The last card was black and ominous. On it was the Lord of the Gates of Matter and Child of the Forces of Time.
The Devil card represents a trap, enslavement to something or someone, and although it may very well mean that someone is causing trouble from the shadows, the trap is usually of your own making. If you use caution, you can break the chains, but there will be a cost, one which you may not be willing to pay.
AD was about to speak when he heard giggles. Christie gathered the cards as the pheromones from 3 wanton and sky-clad banshees wafted into the room.
Where is he?
Asked the first to enter.
We came as soon as you summoned us,
said another in Gaelic. The maiden reached into the chest and handed the neophyte a green robe.
Phoebe Piper Page, she said. I'd like you to meet AD. Show him to the bedroom and prepare him for his initiation.
The Hamptons, 59 seconds later, excerpt 44.
Excerpt 44 is Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Brett ran onto the deck with a box of rocks in hand.
Wait up, dog. If this guy is giving food for thought, I want a plate. I'm riveted by tales of despair.
The mood tensed as AD cleared the table. Christie sucked her teeth. You two play fair.
Nah, it's cool, Chris. I see how we working here. What's it like where I'm from? He shut his eyes and began thumping the table like he used to in his mama's kitchen.
8, I'm there. He pointed to the Atlantic's horizon. Y'all right here. He circled his finger around the deck. No apologies for what I'm about to say.
Excerpt 45.
Cause y'all was in the pub, having a light beer. I was in the club, having a fight there. Y'all could go home, husband and wife there. My mama at work trying to buy me the right gear. 9 years old, uncle lost his life here. I grew up thinking life ain't fair. How can I get a real job trying to wipe right there? Right in front of my sight like here. Yeah, here's your ticket out the ghetto, take flight right here. Tell me you go bye-bye here. Damn, there's a different set of rules we abide by here. You need a gun. Niggas might try by here. Y'all having fun, waiting on your hot rods there. Downloading all our music on the iPods there. I'm Chuck D, standing in the crosshairs here. Y'all straight, chicks got horsehair hair. You ain't gotta be in fear of your bosses there. You lose your job, you pop rich. Y'all don't care, so I don't care. You're acting like y'all don't hear all the screams from the ghetto, all the teens ducking metal here.
AD pushed back from the table and broke into his b-boy stance as the girls applauded. Oh ho, did you get enough to eat? Asked Christie. Brett's doing the dishes,
said another guest, a health nut that had been in the kitchen blending a protein smoothie. He stepped onto the deck in black basketball shorts and black Air Jordans, a Breitling watch on one wrist and a red string tied around the other. His black autographed Chicago Bulls championship jersey was flung over his bare swimmer's torso.
What's up, kids? Sup, AD? He slapped hands and backs fluidly. Friedman, said Chloe, feigning disgust. When did you get here? Shouldn't you be at Shabbat's brunch or something? Jerry hadn't changed one bit. He sat next to Chloe on the armrest of the bench and rubbed her back. I came through the window last night with Brett. Problem? If so, tell me be gone. Her phony face broke, her eyes lowered a bit, and she smiled. No problem, she said softly. Good. Jerry stood up quickly and took her top with him. Chloe yelled, Friedman, you fucking snake, you make me sick. She tried covering her brand new 36Cs with her hands. Jerry had heard enough from AD to spark his curiosity. He spun around gracefully and tossed Brett the top. Wipe your mouth, bro. You're drooling. Brett held it over his head, glad the torch of humiliation had been passed. Jerry gave AD a beer. Bro, let's take a walk. Cool, said AD, taking one last look at Chloe. Christie, we're taking your car. Christie nodded, grabbed the top and threw it to Chloe. Jerry grabbed a couple of apples from the kitchen as he walked to the front. You the same AD from Kiluaha fame? I am the one. I had an internship with an investment firm in London. It was big there that year. I never heard anything else. What happened? Pride, greed, envy, you know? Same shit that happens to all the greats. Well, it's good to see you're still writing hot shit. What's Chaz doing these days? His thing, Jerry laughed. And never I write, said AD. I get into my space and say whatever I like. Jerry admired his chutzpahs but thought, you can't be that good, before asking, you're telling me you never wrote down any rhymes? Well, admitted AD, when I first started rhyming I didn't need to. I had a magic microphone.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later. AD point to him. Yeah, said Jerry. I had a couple of those. When I got too old for that, there was this green notebook I used to write stuff in until the shit happened with Chaz. I stopped rhyming after that. My heart wasn't in it no more. AD's voice trailed off for a moment. I wish I could find it. It's probably some tight shit in there. Probably. Because honestly, you made Kiluaha. I always thought Chaz was dead weight. An affable AD thanked him for the compliment. So what's up these days? Asked Jerry, pointing to AD's car. You still spending money from '88? I wish. I'm in sales now. Business is good, isn't it? Asked Jerry, grinning as he retrieved something from the compartment of his Ducati. I guess so, said AD. What about yours? Jerry offered him a small red pouch and a colorful one-hitter. AD declined. I don't smoke much. Jerry shrugged and sparked up. I got some good tricks are there, he said. But I'm looking for one bad bitch so I can spoil her. I want to dump the one I got in corporate America. Why the fuck would you want to do that? Believe me, she's a major bitch. Boring, too. Besides, it's too many good old boys in that game for me. My primary interest is getting money. I don't care how, just so long as I do. And even though I look damn good in one, said Jerry, putting his shirt on, I don't like wearing suits. AD took a sip of beer as he finished. I'm a voyeur, man. I love to watch. I roll with some friends who do party promotions from time to time. Now those bitches are sexy. I want in. To tell you the truth, I want to do what you do. What? Chuckled AD. Rap? Jerry laughed at his expression. Not exactly. Stay with me. I'm pretty good with numbers. Rap and .coms are the fastest growing games out there, but .coms are unstable and rap is on the verge of going mainstream. Jerry held out his hand. Dude, there's money there and I'm like Frank White. I want in. AD laughed and gave him dap. I feel your struggle, man, but I don't know how I can help you. I ain't rapping for dough no more. Jerry was loud and brazen and did not hesitate when he interrupted. Then you are fucking up, bro. AD didn't know what to make of him. He was either coked up or the most confident person he'd ever met. You got a wife? Asked Jerry. No. Kids? No. Enough dough? AD squinted. Me either, said Jerry. You and I are about the same age. I've got a little over 2 million collecting dust and interest in bank accounts, and that ain't enough for me. Wasting time is old man shit. Every moment I'm awake, I'm focused on the kill. I'm looking for longevity till I'm 70. AD liked the sound of that. Jerry offered the pouch again. Trust me, dude, you've never been on a ride like this before. I guarantee this G13 will change your life, man. AD took it as Jerry made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Teach me what you know, and I'll teach you how to earn better. In 18 months, I guarantee, I'll triple your worth.
This time, AD's head opened up to the idea as he motioned towards the car.
Let's ride around a while. Jerry dropped the top and steered the Mustang around the town before hitting the highway doing 160 miles per hour. AD felt like a kid again. He hadn't been in this seat in a long time and was excited about what might be. Even on this side, this is how it be when you rolling with G's. When they'd finished running numbers, the two compared figures. So what do you think of Christie? That's my girl, answered AD. She takes care of her people. So you're in the covenant? AD kept quiet. Initiation meant secrecy. I'll take that as a yes. It's okay to talk about it with a member. AD glanced at him with empty eyes. Come on, man, said Jerry uneasily. We've known each other since we were children. I live 5 houses down. Our parents tried like hell for years to get us together. But whatever we had ended when I turned 13. What happened then? Asked AD. I became a man. She got into Zeppelin, read Crowley's Book of Law, and... Zeppelin! Uttered AD. Jerry peered at him through his Oakleys. What? Don't tell me you aren't a fan? I know Zeppelin, AD assured him, but fill me in. Who's Crowley, and what does one have to do with the other? The life of Aleister Crowley, well known in society circles, may be considered bizarre to the uninitiated. Born to an English priest in 1875, he's been described as a Freemason, a Satanist, an Illuminati magus, and a member of MI6. Tales of Crowley's exploits became legendary as he traveled the world, became a brilliant mountain climber, and enjoyed much success writing for himself and others. Some of his most popular works are Magic in Theory and Practice, Diary of a Drug Fiend, and Liber 777, or the Kabbalah Unveiled. He was a character, Jerry said, flipping through CDs, called himself the Great Beast of the Apocalypse and the Wickedest Man Alive.
He died in England in like 1947, but not before influencing many musicians, including Jimmy Page. Page, that's Zeppelin's lead singer, right? Right. A girlfriend of his said that Page was obsessed with Crowley and practiced black magic. So the shit about hearing voices when you play their records backwards, that shit is real. Come on, dude. You listen to a whole record backwards and you might hear anything. You've got to wonder about a weirdo who does that kind of shit anyway, and the people that said that are the same assholes that put those dumb little stickers on rap records. Right. So what did Page do? I think it was like 1970 when he bought Crowley's Manor in Boakes Line, England. It's old, really fucked up looking, and is supposed to be haunted. You know the Loch Ness Monster? F.A., sure. It sits right on the water where it's supposed to live, and it was built on the same ground where a church burned down with all these people inside, and later on some guy got his dome cut off in there. I saw the place. I wouldn't want to live in it, and I don't scare easy. And Page bought it? He said it was perfect. For what? They say when Crowley was there in the early 1900s, he used the Kabbalah's unholy Sephiroth to summon demons, perform magic rituals. The other rumor is it's the place that Page came up with the most awesome rock song of all time. Jerry put the disc in, and after a short introduction, the opening chords to Stairway played, stirring the pit of AD's stomach. He looked sick as the song recreated images of his lucid dream. "Dude, are you okay?" asked Jerry. "You want me to pull over? Don't fucking Earl in here with us doing 90. "Man, I'm straight," said AD, composed. "What about Christie and Crowley?" Jerry calmed down. Crowley's phrase, "do what thou wilt," is what led Christie to Wicca and had her a bit anti-Semitic, if you asked me. The thing about that is, without us, there would be no magic or Kabbalah to unveil. What is Kabbalah? Jerry thought quickly and took a deep breath. What I'm about to tell you is meant to go from my mouth to your car only, okay? AD agreed. Have you read the Bible? Asked Jerry. Man, the only Psalms I ever seen was on the arms of my niggas. No matter. I'm sure Christie gave you her rant about Levites. Yep. Okay, well, the Levites are a priestly class of Hebrews. Hebrews and Jews are the same, right? No, anyone can be a Jew. Judaism in a religion. Hebrews are a race of people who were forced out of their homeland, and Zionism is the movement to create and bring them to their new home in the state of Israel. You with me? Yeah. Okay. God taught the Kabbalah to only his highest order of angels. After Adam fell, some of them taught it to him so that he could one day return to paradise. Next it was taught to Noah, then to Abraham and his covenant, and finally to Moses, who taught it to a select group of Hebrew priests, male scholars over the age of 40, the Levites. After the years they spent exiled in Egypt, they wrote the Torah. The Torah contains esoteric information called Ram. It's the apex of cosmic knowledge, very difficult to understand. Since then, it's been translated into other texts, mainly the Sefer HaZohar, Book of Splendor, and the Sefer Vetzira, Book of Creation. That information is Kabbalah. Judaism is what is taught to everyone else. So why is it so hush-hush? What's that all about? Jerry chuckled. Since the dawn of civilization, man and all his scholars, scientists, and priests have tried to explain two questions. Why am I here? Said AD. And... Jerry waited for a response. AD's mind had been on automatic. He wasn't prepared for a quiz. By now he was feeling the high he'd gotten from the LAI. He threw his hands up. I don't know, Jerry answered. Where did I come from? Would you tell everyone if you had those answers? AD's smile gave him away. Jerry's did the same. The texts tell how God created the world by combining the 3 pillars, 3 triangles, and 4 worlds of the tree of life with the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph, Beth, Gimel. AD's eyes switched on and he became alert, pronouncing each of the next 19 letters flawlessly and in rhythm. Daleth, He, Vav, Zain, Cheth, Teth, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pe, Zadi, Kof, Resh, Shin, and Tau. From Ein Sof he combined the 10 Sephiroth: Malkuth, Yesod, Hod, Netzach, Tippereth, Geburah, Chest, Bina, Chokmah, and Kether, with the 22 letters to create the 32 paths of wisdom that would lead the chosen few to the light. It was a miracle. An astonished Jeremiah Friedman was at a loss for words. He had trouble keeping his eyes on the road as for the next 2 minutes, unwavering, like a record spinning in its groove. AD recalled things he believed long forgotten. The art of calculating divine names and numbers, characters and letters, holy seals, and the miracles of prophecies and dreams. Motherfucker! Who taught you the secrets to becoming God? Becoming God! If God used this to create the world, I wonder what I can do, thought AD before answering. Where I'm from, people think God is an old gray white man sitting on a gold throne. Small imaginations, said Jerry. They limit him and themselves by placing God in a certain skin. An ardent AD could hardly contain himself as he explained to his new friend something he'd never told another, the story of that night in paradise when he'd glimpsed the orchard. He took another hit and left the weed alone. This shit's got me going. Man, he said, I've been waiting 15 years to find out what dude said on that microphone. You can explain all that to me? No one can explain it all. I've studied all my life. I still don't know all that there is to know, and I never will. Remember, Kabbalah, like you and me, is ever becoming. AD would have to wait even longer to understand that one. Man, it's been 15 years till I thought I'd never know what that shit was about. I never met nobody I could... He stopped to reflect. Damn, Jerry, that was a long time ago, and you know I can remember that shit like it just happened. Jerry felt it was time to reveal another secret. Time is illusory, man, and humans are the victims of a universal delusion creed by their inferior minds to explain it. The future doesn't exist yet, and the past is already gone. The only thing that matters is now, this moment, and what you do with it. You want to be rich? You want to leave a legacy? Well, not everyone is capable of that. You need to conquer your fears. When you find something or someone you click with, follow it. See where it leads you. See what works are associated with it, who its stars are. See what they were into. Check their history, and it may lead you to yours, wherever that may be. AD looked at Jerry with caution. It's funny to me when most people wake up, smell their lives, and realize where they really are, or worse, whatever's been guiding them, they piss their pants and go out like Benzoma did. Little bitches. Why? I say do you, then learn to control you. That's consciousness. Only with it may the flaming sword be removed and Shekinah revealed. She is the gate and the opening to the divine. That's where my people come in. And thy seed shall possess the gate of his enemies. I am of that seed. The tree is the key to divine consciousness, and when you've mastered it, behold, the man is become one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. The car whined down the road, Jerry revved the engine, Jimmy's solo ended, and John brought the cymbals to a stop on a note as fine as a razor's edge. The Mustang did the same on a cliff overlooking an omnivorous ocean view, and at that very moment Robert completed their quest.
And she's buying the stairway to heaven.
Honestly, said Jerry, there was a time not so long ago when, due to certain traits, you wouldn't be welcome in our order, but money and power is changing us. These days all we ask is trust. We are a secret society, the Ben Elohim and the creators of fate. AD hesitated, unsure of what to do. Over the years he'd run with plenty guys who told lies that sounded true. Dude, asked Jerry, smiling as he handed him the apple from which he'd attained Chegidiel, what the hell are you waiting for? Let's make history.